Does the size of your drum kit matter? Why does it matter? What's the difference between playing a drum kit that has 1 tom or 2 toms or 3 toms or 6 toms? Let's find out. The three-piece drum kit would be your minimalist setup as a drummer. Minimalism is a huge trend at the moment. It's big in the world. So if you are minimalist, this may just transfer through to your drumming. If you're going to set up a three-piece, it would probably be a snare drum, a bass drum, and a floor tom, and that's it. That gives you a snare to play grooves with, and it gives you a floor tom to add a little bit of a tom sound every now and then. So what are the benefits of this? Firstly, it helps you focus on groove, because you don't have many options to play drum fills and stuff. The less you have, the more you're going to focus on playing what you can play, and that's mainly going to be beats. So that's one of the huge benefits of it. It'll also boost your creativity, because a way to improve on your creativity is to limit yourself. So if you're not adding too many things to play, you're going to have to be creative with what you have. So if you just have a snare drum, you just have a floor tom, you just have a bass drum and some cymbals, you're going to need to create as much as you possibly can with just those things, and it will help you get really creative. One of the biggest advantages of a three-piece set is that it is really light to travel with and to set up. This is why you'll see people use it at gigs in like coffee shops and pubs and bars and stuff, because they don't want to lug a big drum kit to this gig just to play for 40 minutes and then pack it down and take it all the way home. So three-piece kits are really good to travel lightly with and to play in spaces that have really small areas to play drums in. Some disadvantages of a three-piece kit is that you don't really have many voices to play. Yes, you do need to be creative, but sometimes you're just going to want more tones from the drums, but you really only have 3 main tones to work with, so that's a bit of a downside to it. The other downside to it is that you can't play the fill for In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. Four-piece kit, pretty much the same thing. You're just adding an extra tom wherever that's placed in your personal setup. But now you've got 2 toms, a snare drum and a bass drum, making 4 pieces. This setup is one of the most common setups you'll see. Rock drummers, even metal drummers, indie drummers, country drummers. It tends to be one of the most comfortable setups to play, because you got 2 toms to play with. That gives you like many options, and then you got this space here for your ride cymbal to be closer to you. Some people love having a ride close so that it just feels like they don't need to reach for it. And the 4-piece setup is completely optimal for having a close ride. That's like the biggest benefit of it. Another big benefit of this, it comes to when you buy a kit. Some higher quality drum kits can be really expensive. So if you don't want to spend as much money, you can buy a shell pack that only has 2 toms instead of 3 toms, and you could save a couple of $100. So that's a good thing. The last thing, similar to the 3-piece, is that it's easier to set up than a bigger drum kit. So you only got 2 toms to worry about. They're easy to position. It's also a little bit easier to carry around, set up at different gigs and stuff. Disadvantages of it is that, again, you may need some more tones for what you're doing. Some styles of music, they need more voices on the drums. If you only have 2 toms, you only have 2 toms. So you might want more. You also can't play the In the Air Tonight fill by Phil Collins. Five-piece kit. This is arguably what we all learn to play on. Five-piece kit is the standard idea of what a drum set looks like. 2 rack toms, 1 floor tom, a snare drum, and a bass drum. Advantages of this is that you have plenty of voices to play with. You got high tom, middle tom, floor tom, snare drum, bass drum. You can do so much with that. If you're looking to play fluid fills that go up and down and around, this is a good setup to have. A lot of people find it more comfortable than limiting themselves with less drums. Another advantage of it is it's a bit easier to learn on. A lot of teachers when they teach, and if you look at like books and stuff, as a teacher I've noticed this, is there's a lot of middle toms everywhere. So if you don't have a middle tom and you're looking at this book, you're going to be like, what the heck, what do I play now? So middle tom, 5-piece kit, easier to learn on. Some disadvantages of it is that it's harder to like travel around with. It's bigger, it's like heavier, you need to focus on more things, it takes longer to set up. And then another thing is that having those 3 toms may distract you from focusing on just playing beats and grooves and stuff. So that's just another thing to think about. You also can't play the In the Air Tonight fill by Phil Collins. Six-piece kit, basically just adding an extra tom, giving you more voices to play with. The disadvantages and advantages are very similar to the 5-piece kit, except that you can play the In the Air Tonight fill, and that is all you need. That is all anyone ever wants. These are the 3 drum kits that I have with me where I am. The first one is a Pearl Export. That's the red one. It's the 3-piece and the 4-piece. The second one is a Yamaha Stage Custom. I literally think the Stage Custom is one of the best kits around. It's so affordable, yet lots of professionals use it. It sounds so good. And then the other one is my personal kit that I bought a few years ago, which is a Tama Superstar Hyperdrive Classic Custom Duo. Not custom, it's not a custom, but it's cool because it has a snare drum / floor tom, which is that modern jazzy, like fusion jazz idea that a lot of drummers are going for. So you can turn the snare drum into a floor tom and vice versa. It's pretty cool. If you want any of these kits, I've put a link in the description. You can go check those out on Amazon. Every single one of them is a really cool kit that works in a bunch of situations. So yeah, thanks guys. I'll see you in the next one.